say we have a problem, but every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. It is Between Two Beards, back better than ever. JPJ, who, if you noticed to my, well, I don't know, right or left, whatever, to the side of me, we got Ella J
Hi,
in
Bobby.
the house. Bobby's in the house saying hello, guys. What's good, Bobby? Ella J's got her beard rocking. Is that you, JPJ?
No, JPJ, file not found. We're best friends now. Remember, that's what the theme song is. We're drinking with your best friends. We're best friends now.
That's right. Ella and I are besties. JPJ has been replaced officially. Basically so he tells me Monday. Let's get into this real quick, Ella. He tells me Monday that he's going on vacation this week. HW Sports, what's good? Glad to see your beautiful faces here. Colpito, missing that best beard. You know what? That is a damn lie. Ella's beard rules. Come on now. Bobby's doing great. He said, I told you. Good. He's here because, listen, we're going to get into it. I'm going to let Ella do her thing, but I've got a tinfoil hat. We got a lot going on tonight. I think JPJ told me that he's going on vacation weeks ago because his Celtics took an L in the finals and knew that he would get flack tonight.
That was literally only last week, and you said he told you weeks ago.
Right.
So that doesn't add up, Pluggo.
But he knows that I'm not the brains of the operation, Ella.
That's what I'm here for.
He's telling me Monday. It was weeks ago. Honk, honk, goose, what's up? Big Bad Boris, what's up, boys and girl? That's fair. And then JPJ did say, hi, Ella. I should stop pushing buttons. That's why we have the Ecto guy is here. Make sure that the ship goes smooth. Curry is a dangerous man. Absolutely. So, Ella, yes. So he tells me weeks ago, right? He tells me Monday that he told me. So knowing that I don't have the capacity up here to remember that, I think it's because his boys lost and he didn't want to get flack tonight from all of the haters. Are you a sports fan of any sorts, Ella?
Baseball, but that's about it, to be honest, outside of pro wrestling. I'm so sorry, JPJ, if you're a Boston fan. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm so sorry, but not really.
Okay, so this analogy doesn't work with you. I was going to say, if you're a sports fan and your team ever been in the finals and took in a hard loss, Yankees have a 37,000 championship, so that doesn't work for you.
To be fair though, we haven't had a World Series championship since 2009, so it's been over a decade.
Oh. Yankees, girls, HW Sports.
I'm from New York. What do you want from me?
But yes, so we have Ella J with us tonight, co-hosting because JPJ is on vacation, a well-deserved vacation. The man does work very hard. Boris coming in hot with the over a decade. Wow. Yeah. I am a Cubs fan. We've won one in the last 108 years or 120 years or whatever it's been now. So we got Mrs. Pluggo saying go Cubs. She's in the house. Mrs. Pluggo, tell Owen I said hi. My little boy's watching probably. So yes, I needed a co-host. I couldn't think of anybody better than Ella because we love Ella. She's been on before. So we're going to spend the next hour and a half or so. We've got Spenny Love, the founder of Love Pro Wrestling, coming on to talk about LPW5 on Friday.
I think the last time I was on was actually about a year ago. I think it was right before SummerSlam because I remember us talking about Gage Goldberg.
Oh, we're going to bring that up.
Was it? It was somewhere around Money in the Bank SummerSlam time. Now that I think about it.
You blew the bit, but long-term storytelling, I was going to say, Ella, how mad were you when when Gage Goldberg didn't turn on his dad like he should have?
I was so disappointed. I think that would have been pop of the night.
That's why I was like, I got to have her back on. We got to talk about it. We got to tie this up pieces. We've done other shows in the past. You're the co-host of Powerrrout on Tuesday nights, so you've probably seen Ella hanging out with old Zark there. But we're here. Everybody's happy in the chat. Ask questions. We're going to talk.
Beard.
She's got her beard. She's ready to rock and roll. I told Alex that we were replacing JPJ for 1 week. He thought we were replacing it permanently. That's why there's a whole new.
Can we play the clip again?
We can. One more time for those that missed it in the chat. Check this intro out.
My best friends. Some people say we have a problem, but every night I make a new best friend, and the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hell yeah, that was awesome. That was so good. Poor JPJ replaced, as I said earlier today with Josh, get wrecked. But we are here. It's a wrestling show. It's a whatever show. You know how we do on Thursday nights. I had to get Ella in the mix because we need some professionalism on this show, because if I'm running the show solo, my God, who knows what will happen. But it's been a week of professional wrestling.
It's been a last 2 months of professional wrestling, man.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin. We'll touch on. So if you got questions, comments, concerns, whatever, throw them in the chat. Let us know, but I think we'll start with Vinnie Mac. I just want to get it out of the way and get it over so we can have some fun tonight. What was that, Ella? What the? He's going to come out on SmackDown. Everybody knows what happened. We talked about it last week. I'm sure you've talked about it at length, so we won't dive super duper deep into it. But what was that on Friday and Monday?
I did not watch Monday because I was at work. I saw the gif of him like jumping down the stairs, but I did watch last Friday. I was confused. They were hyping this up, well, basically the wrestling universe was hyping it up. To be fair, all WWE said was that he was going to appear on SmackDown, and that's what he did. And we were all speculating, I think, and having high hopes for this. But it was basically just welcome to SmackDown, then, now, and forever together. Bye, guys.
Oh, we got Throwback in the chat dropping a cheer saying, are you excited for the return of our savior, Paul Levesque, Lord of NXT, to come back? You know what? Yeah. If that's true, that would be good, because thank you for the cheers. Keep them coming. Let's get some cheers going. Real quick to everybody in the chat, if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be able to chat with us tomorrow night on LPW5. Everybody can watch it for free, but subscribers only get to chat. And I'll be in that chat. JPJ, if he's not, whatever he's doing, I don't think he's on vacation. I think he's just sitting on his couch going,
maybe.
But hey, maybe he's not.
We all need a little break sometimes.
We do. I feel that. So yes, Paul Levesque coming back would be great. I think NXT needs it. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you like NXT 2.0, Ella?
So a lot of the times, again, I don't get to watch because I'm at said shoot job, which is why we have to rearrange our schedules for NXT and Powerrrout, because I'm literally getting out of work once NXT ends. But I have been keeping up on it a little bit. I like where they're going with, I think, the women's division in general, but I honestly don't watch NXT 2.0 enough, I think, to form like a solid judgment. Of course, I'm happy for my girls getting their time to shine. They've been having very consistent matches on there. Obviously, some of the name changes I'm not a fan of, but that's a whole other discussion. I think Sean's been doing okay with running NXT 2.0 from what I understand.
Right on. And Big Bad Boris said he can't wait for tomorrow night. Either can I. Big Bad Boris was on last week. He's the commentator tomorrow night at LPW5. That was an amazing conversation. So circle back to our socials and take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll go full black and gold again. But you know, like you said, I don't appointment view NXT either. I kind of just pick matches I really want to see, and I'll just watch those because it's really not catered to me. But back to that Vinnie Mac stuff, I was going to say Monday, so he just comes out and goes, the last 30 years, you know, John Cena. And then he's like, see him next week. And then he jumps off the stage like I mean, for his age, I'll say that, like, that's impressive. I'd probably torn a knee.
Didn't bust a hip, yeah.
What's it? Throwback saying he had to catch up next week for being in the hospital. Yeah, get well soon, buddy. Show your love to Throwback. Go check him out. He's in the hospital right now dealing with some stuff. Much love to him. But yeah, I just think it's kind of tone deaf. Now, did I expect us to get an apology out of Vince? Did I? Because
No.
I don't think so. Because one, Vince is very hard headed, and two, it kind of admits guilt. It doesn't help him in a lawsuit. But you could have did like, hey, I'm stepping away, or even like I wanted to segue into this. Stephanie is going to take over. He could have done that.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything from Stephanie on WWE programming, I don't believe. Again, I think we were all like formulating like different theories and like hypotheses of what he could possibly say. And then there was also the report that he would be in character, which I mean he came down in the strut and stuff, but there was nothing really like traditional Vince and being like this cocky bastard basically, and he was just basically saying welcome to SmackDown and then tune in to John Cena's thing. Like I feel like what is the point then of him being on there then, especially in the midst of a lawsuit, obviously, to because people are like what is Vince possibly going to say, basically playing your audience and then cashing in on the hype. Although at the end of the day though, I don't know. It's just all a tricky situation.
It definitely popped a rating as they had a bigger rating and they were up. But I think he ultimately was just doing it to be like, you guys are never going to get rid of me. It's never going to happen. I'm Vince McMahon.
He is still head of creative. So, I mean, Stephanie is the interim CEO and chairwoman while Vince is still head of creative. Right. So I feel like, I mean, obviously he's still head of creative. He's going to write himself into the show.
Of course. But I argued when I talked earlier this week about it, I said somebody has to step in and be like, Vince, like, not the best look. I know he's Vince and he's going to do everything that he wants to do type stuff, but not the greatest look, Vince. What are you thinking, you know? But hey, he's Vince McMahon. So to segue into the Stephanie thing. So there's a lot of mixed emotions on it. I'm personally excited because I think Stephanie McMahon's awesome. I think she'll do a lot, but do you think it's more of just a vanity play? Like Vince is still going to be calling the shots and doing his thing.
I think
but Stephanie's just the face.
Yeah, I think to a degree, Vince will definitely still have some say, and maybe it might just be a ploy that Stephanie's the face, but really it's Vince calling the shots. And I think a lot of people have that perception too. I'm happy for Stephanie. She definitely has a lot of experience in business, both on screen and behind the curtain. She has over 2 decades of experience, I think, in the business world and in professional wrestling. And of course, coming from her father and then her grandfather, obviously being like owners, basically, she does have a lot of experience and credentials going into it. But I think a part of it is definitely Vince is going to be in her ear, because at the end of the day, it like still is his company, even if he has taken a step back. But again, I mean, who's to say? He is still head of creative, which I think still speaks for itself, that if he really wanted to step away, he would void all of his roles. I think part of him still wants that power. And like you said, he's basically saying he's still here.
Yeah. Oh, and HW Sports off, not to get off topic, but people in the chat, if Pluggo shows up to your wrestling show, grab him and cut a video with him. He's a complete class act and a great human being for doing that. At Pluggo B2B is a gem of the world. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Saturday night I showed up to HCW Sports, met Chip the Manimal Walker right here, my dude. Got me a little signed little card. They asked me if I would want to meet him and cut a promo, and I said sure, why the heck not. I go, are you sure you want me on the screen? And they were absolutely, so they were nothing but nice. It was a good time. My boys had a blast. I took the oldest and the youngest, and I think they're lifers now. I'm creating wrestling fans one by one.
Gotta start them young.
So yeah, he's so the littlest one is 3.
Oh, so, yeah.
And it was outside at a baseball. They had it at like a baseball park, so that way he could just run if he was getting bored. But he was into it. One of the wrestlers goes, "I'm here to raise glass and kick ass," and my little baby goes, "Daddy, I kick ass?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, buddy,
sure,
buddy. Don't say that in front of your mother."
I wish I found wrestling younger than when I did. I was 12, but I do wish that I had like more of a childhood in professional wrestling because I missed out on so much like during the Ruthless Aggression era for me.
Yeah.
Ugh, stardom young. I wish I was a fan since 3 years old, honestly.
He's my little wrestler, but he tries to take my little figures and stuff. I had to give him a couple of his own. But yeah, so I think I got him hooked, which is nice because my other kids are like, what are you watching, Dad? And I'm like, I live my life.
Like, not again.
So yeah, in the chat, folks, we're waiting on Spenny Love to show up, so we're gonna keep on chatting. But who do you guys think will be the third member of the baddies? It's gonna be me, bro.
Oh God! Did you put in your application hashtag baddie search?
I should. I don't know what I would wear, Ella. I'm not sure what Jade's looking for from a guy like me, but I could pull something off. I could be like, "Is this baddie pose?"
Kind of like an off the shoulder, maybe.
Yeah, like what you got going on right there. I could. Stokely said to keep it PG though, and I'm thinking like I gotta at least go PG-13. A little.
That's why you got that shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I will say though, I thought last night, not to get completely off topic, we don't have this on the rundown, but we'll talk about it anyway. I thought that was such a good segment between Jade, Kira with Stokely, and then
Chris and Athena
being like,
"Oh, that was awesome." Yeah,
I was just like, I felt like that was the best two segments back to back in terms of just women's promos that we've seen on Dynamite in probably forever. And I don't mean that as a slight on the women. I love the AEW women's division. I just want them to get more time. I want them to do more stuff like that. I wish they would put that throughout the show. Do you agree? Disagree? How do you feel
agree.
About it?
I personally loved the satire promo between Chris Statlander and Athena. I was a big fan, especially too. I mean, since that whole Athena Mandy Rose interview came out a few months ago now, I feel like that was kind of relating to it in a way. And so I feel like a lot of people, a lot of online, well, I guess the IWC as you would call us, knew had that in the back of their brains. I enjoyed that segment with Chris and Athena, and I'm excited to see, of course, I wish Red Velvet a speedy recovery. And if I don't know who the next baddie is going to be. I mean, I know who I would like it to be, but I don't know who it would realistically be.
Who is your next baddie?
I would love to see AQA get some more TV time. Yes. I mean, she came in facing Jade Cargill, I believe, in her AEW debut, and she's been working a lot on Dark. But I mean, I would love to see her more on Dynamite and Rampage. And I mean, I would love. I mean, there's also another possibility, I guess, in the private chat.
Producer one told me I need to bite my lip for the baddie. So.
That's just like a
Jade,
sneer.
If you're watching,
that's a sneer.
Jade, is this baddie enough for you?
Oh my God.
Stokely. Alex is totally gonna clip that. That's gonna be on the internet.
I will say
I think we need to shut it down.
I will be in the presence of I don't know if I'll officially be in the baddie section, but I will be in the presence of Jade Cargill in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
So maybe I'll make the baddie section in 2 weeks. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. But AQA, I don't want to completely gloss over your point. It felt like, she had that match. They signed her, and we haven't seen anything since. So that would be a nice fit. Yes, Ecto Guy saying in the chat that he was thinking Mercedes. What's Sasha Banks? I don't like Mercedes. How about Natalie Markova? I think she's got stuff going on in the NWA right now.
The Russian Crush. Okay, to be fair though, I mean, you have a good point. I don't know if she's technically signed to NWA, but she's been doing a lot of stuff. And I mean, we've seen people cross over between NWA and All Elite Wrestling. Why not have the Russian Crush in AEW as a baddie? Why not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. I know last night Bobby was trying to be a baddie, and we told Bobby we would do our best to make him a baddie. So hopefully that's going well. Again, we got Ecto Guy. He's just in the chase, just dropping little nuggets in our private chat. Lady Frost asked for her release in the Impact. Maybe she shows up.
I mean, Kiera Hogan is all about the flame and the fire, so why not counter that with a little bit of ice with Lady Frost, the coolest wrestler you'll ever meet.
That would be
Get some
something. I
fire
would
and
be
ice
down with.
action.
I wonder why she would ask for her release. I don't catch a ton of Impact. I kind of keep up on it where I can, but like it seemed like for a while there she was in the mix.
She was. I was at her last appearance at Multiverse of Matches where she teamed with Giselle Shaw versus Savannah Evans and Tasha Steeles versus the Influence, Madison Rayne, and Tennille Dashwood for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. So I don't know. I feel like more news will emerge. But yes, today well, at least she announced today that she asked for her release. But Diamante is a baddie section. I mean, she's with Kiera in real life. They have that real life chemistry. Why not?
And they're not doing anything with her. And HW Sports saying Randy West, she might be too much of a baddie for the baddies, man. She's a badass ass kicker. But I like this baddie section thing. It sucks that Red Velvet got hurt, and which we're going to talk about her in a few minutes when Spenny gets on. But Willow Nightingale pretty much single-handedly turned Red Velvet heel and made this possible by being so over in AEW. She'd be a fun baddie if she turned heel, but I don't think they want to turn her heel.
Willow, I mean, Willow's is lovable baby face, but I also want to see what she can do as a heel on a major platform. I think it'd be really interesting.
It would be super interesting. I think, but I
think so too, though.
What do you guys think in the chat? This is where JPJ would be like, yeah, everybody listen to Pluggo. What's going on, Pluggo? What are you talking about here? You don't yell out Christian Cage tonight. I can't do it. God. JPJ. What, did you see that too?
Yes, I did. I was live tweeting AEW last night.
Well, I saw that we were watching along. So when he cuts that promo, and then Lawrence saying he's the number one baddie, absolutely, Lawrence. So he cuts that promo, and it's just fire. Just he did not hold back at all. Now, clearly, I know that there's probably a section of the internet wrestling community that thought it went too far, but I also know, I'm sure that they cleared it with everybody involved and made sure it was okay to talk about yada, yada, yada. So how did you feel about that as you're live tweeting it?
I mean, the Marco line was really smart. I enjoyed most of it up until obviously that one part about his father. Right. I mean, again, that's kind of hinging kind of similar to the whole Paige, Charlotte, her brother thing going on.
Right.
So I think it leans on that fence. I will say up until that, I mean, Christian arriving in the turtleneck and the sports coat was classic heel. I really enjoyed that promo, I think, up until that point. And it's interesting, too, that him and Luchasaurus have stuff to talk about still. So, I mean, it's leaving us, I mean, on a cliffhanger wanting to know what him and Luchasaurus, what is this conversation going to be?
Right. Why is Luchasaurus even thinking about it? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, does he come out? I don't understand that. Bobby's saying, how about Submission Pro wrestlers as baddies? Yeah. Why not? Jade should just have it should be like, I know right now it's like 3 people in the baddies. It should be like the first 2 rows. All the way around.
I'm going through the Mission Pro roster in my head. I'm trying to think like who. I don't know if you know her, but Jasmine Allure is a former Mission Pro champion. Granted, she was champion for like
13 seconds.
Pretty much. I could see her being a part of the baddies. I think that would be really fun.
Because I think I remember that match because she beat La Rosa Negra.
Yes.
And then Holidead came out and cashed in on her, and it was like I was shocked that she won it, and I was like, "That's an interesting choice." And then Holidead comes out and takes the belt, and then we're over that. So I was like,
I think Jasmine is the top tier Jasmine Allure. So
she fits the moniker.
I think so.
I personally just think whatever Jade does is money. And I've talked about it. I know people crap on her because she's not Daniel Bryan in the wrestling ring, but she doesn't need to be. She's kicking ass. She's over as all get out. She's got a great look, a great appeal, and she's only getting better. So excuse me.
Oh, Rachel Rose is another good one. The Queen of House Rose. Rachel Rose is huge. Like, honestly, I think she's held like 4 championships at once. recently. She's the queen of House Rose. She's this really, like, I would say monster heel in the Texas scene. Like, she's been really up there in the ranks, and she's really blossomed over the last year too. She could definitely play a baddie heel as well.
Isn't she the new Texas Pro champ? I don't want to.
New Texas Pro Women's Champion.
That's right. Yes. She's the champ down there with old Brian Keith. That promotion. They do a lot of good stuff down there when I get an opportunity to catch it. I wish I could catch more wrestling, but there's only so much time in the day. And, you know, I'm literally stalling because Spenny's like, I might be in a few minutes early, but he's not. The boss is either going to come yell at us or talk LPW5.
He's just going to pop in.
I don't want us to get deep into a conversation. We could keep talking about Gold. Do you think Goldberg shows up at Money in the Bank with the Sun?
I don't want to talk about that again.
Tim saying Pluggo smells amazing. Hooray. Honorary beard. Yes. Ella is an honorary beard. She's always welcome on our show. Beard or no beard. She's got it. She can, whatever. It doesn't matter. JPJ is not here to tell people what they can and can't do. It's my show tonight.
Maddie Rankowski is out on injury right now, unfortunately, Bobby. She just won the Mission Pro tag titles with Rache Chanel, but then she announced a couple days later, like a week later, that she had an injury. So I don't know how long she's out. It's only been about a month since she's been injured. So I don't know what her return looks like, that timetable.
Tim, didn't you see the graphic? JPJ's face ain't on this show no more.
But we won't forget.
Right. He's hiding from us all, Tim. That if you were here at the beginning of the show, that's what I said. He's hiding because his Celtics lost. And then Astrid saying hi. What's good, Astrid? Hi. Speaking of Astrid, didn't you just do an interview with Astrid like this weekend? It was amazing.
Yes, thank you. That was a lot of fun. I loved being on Astrid Asks.
I'm trying to get on Astrid Ask. I'm trying to make that move. I'm trying to get there, but I'm not good. I'm not baddie enough yet for the Astrid section.
You never know until you use the official hashtag baddie search.
Baddie search. Oh yeah, we will tonight. But I can see Alex in the behind the scenes with that. Like he's like, Pluggo just gave me all this gold. I'm gonna use it. Watch out. And I'm going to get on AEW somehow, some way. And then my wife is going to go, what the heck, man? Keep working on it. I'm trying, Astrid. I'm trying. For those that don't know, yes, Astrid asked. She had Ella on this past weekend. That's all over our social medias at Love Wrestling CA. Maybe we should go ahead and, what does that say? She's waiting till Christmas so she can talk about my 76 Christmas trees. Absolutely. Absolutely. This year, 76 trees. That's going to happen. We're at over 500 views. Heck yeah, Astrid, you go, girl. We should hashtag Bobby's for the baddie section. Yeah, we should.
You should put in your application, Bobby.
Bobby, let's get you into the baddies, bro. Spenny Love should be joining us any minute. So let's go ahead and pay some bills real quick. We'll hit up with RK Athletics 1. You thought I was going to go the other way, but we'll talk about.
Yes, I did.
We'll save that for later. The reason I'm saying that is because Rich King will be at LPW5 tomorrow night at the Yeg. It's going to rule. But he also does personal workouts. Did you know that, Ella? He gives you workouts online. You could meet him in person if you're in the Canada, Alberta area. Canada, Alberta, the Alberta, Canada area. I need to learn how to speak. But yes, you can hit him up on RK Athletics 1 on Twitter and say, hey, I'm looking to get a little bit in shape. Pluggo right now, he's looking to get a little bit in shape. He's been eating a little healthier the past couple days, trying to get in that baddie section. That's how you get in the baddie section. You hit up our boy Rich King, who also is a killer wrestler, will be at LPW5 tomorrow. Make that happen. RK Athletics, our day one sponsors. And what is we got Tim saying that, or just like Vince, he will be disappointed. Spenny better have a beard. Spenny does not have a beard. I think Spenny doesn't grow a beard just out of spite between two beards. He's like, I'm not coming on the show.
You got to get him one of those attachable ones.
I should. It's fake beard or bust.
Yeah.
We did when we initially started the show. When we talked about it, we were like, what if we always had guests that only had beards? Or if you didn't have a beard and you showed up on screen, we just booted you. Like that was an initial thought in the initial planning of Between Two Beards like a year and a half ago. And I thought about it and I was like, guys, that's a really funny idea, but let's just for shits and giggles say we get like Thunder Rosa to come on and we kick her off right when she joins the screen because she
oh my god, she would be like never again.
Exactly. Like I said, that's probably not a good look for a podcast to start out. Maybe in like a few years when we've got a big following and we can like do that, which by the way, Thunder Rosa, friend of the show, she tells you to watch Between Two Beards. Elias's fake beard, we could talk about that.
I thought about that too. I mean, you mean Elrod?
Elrod, who's Elrod gonna be? So yeah, while we're waiting on Spenny, and I know we're gonna talk about Money in the Bank tonight. We're gonna talk a little Forbidden Door. We got all sorts of other things to talk about, but we don't want to dive in because we got to talk LPW. But until then, what did you think? What do you think of this whole thing and how they pulled it off on Monday? I know you said you didn't watch it live, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely hilarious, to be honest. Like when I was at the Raw after Mania where Ezekiel first came out, and then the whole thing with Kevin Owens, I honestly was very entertained by that whole thing. And then I was there live for the lie detector test that they did with him.
Oh, nice.
Which again, I think was hilarious. So I mean, I'm excited, but who's gonna be Elrod? I mean, I guess they're triplets now, right?
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting. Like you already had to pull off Elias and Ezekiel on screen together, and then you just decide to write in a third. So like every week, as Eloise and Eleanor and Ella, maybe
Elias.
Screw the baddie section. Let's get in the Ezekiel section. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, the three faces of Ezekiel. That is true.
Oh, Bobby's saying he doesn't understand. I
love it personally. I think it's hilarious. Like it's just so like out, like it's just so bizarre, like out of the ordinary that I think it's like very hilarious, and I love it.
And when it first debuted, I was like, yeah, this is gonna suck. But the characters involved have made it work, and it's awesome. And Tim, I see that comment where you said I held Thunder Rosa captive. No. She was right behind me and I said, hey, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And then she put in the whole ransom thing and she was like, are you going to use a flash? And I go, I don't know how to do that. And she turns it on and goes, let's shoot it. And I post it up and she goes like this initially. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. But yes, this Ezekiel and Elias thing is fantastic. I can't believe it's so well done because it's one of those things that you're like, oh, this is really bad WWE creative, but it's so bad that
it's good.
And it's great because Kevin Owens is selling it like $1 million. Everyone involved, Elias, Ezekiel, Elrod is killing it. And then the Chad Gable involvement was super underrated and I think critical with that lie detector test because he pulled it off really well.
Elrod is actually Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Where Elrod looks completely different of the two. KO yells about how this man is obviously not related. Yeah, that could be. They could go that route too.
Did you see the meme where it was Ezekiel and Elias versus Sami Zayn and El Generico?
I want Ezekiel. I wish they could pull off Ezekiel and Elias being tag champs somehow.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, they've merged.
They need a hologram.
Yes, hologram wrestlers. In my first iteration in podcasting, I worked with a guy, his name is Kyle, and he's fantastic and he knows his stuff, but he was always very serious about WWE booking, and I used to joke constantly, hologram wrestlers, man, that's the future. Like,
honestly.
And then anytime in any conversation we'd have, I would try to interject hologram wrestler, and here we are, hologram wrestlers are going to happen in this storyline. I'm calling.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that is easy. They could probably pull that off. They've got the technology, especially when they were doing like the pandemic shows with no crowds. You could pull off a hologram wrestler.
I mean, we had the Thunderdome, so why not?
Sure, I would be down if you just brought out like a hologram third partner or that would be cool, like a third, like a hologram Elrod, and only Kevin Owens sees it. He's like, nobody sees this? What is this? And they're like,
now we're getting into Sami Zayn conspiracies here. I'm here for it.
Yes, and then Sammy gets involved because KO and Sammy is always a good time, in my opinion. I think Spencer's late. We are professionals here. But let's go ahead.
I'm personally excited for Zoe Sager and Willow Nightingale.
I know. Oh, he said be there in 2, just waiting on another. He messaged me and said he'll be there in 2. He's waiting on a drink. That is what I'm talking about. He must hear me talking shit.
Need a drink. I feel that. I understand that.
Zoe Sager is fantastic. She's been killing it in LPW. She was supposed to face Giselle Shaw.
Yes.
And I don't know why. And I mean, I didn't ask, I don't pry, but she had to bow out for whatever reason. And Willow has stepped into the fray, and that match is gonna rule. Ecto Guy, you need to put these on the screen. These are so funny.
Honestly.
Next step is HK and God versus Vince McMahon and Shane. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
The only thing is that Shane's been released.
Yeah.
God never left WWE, technically.
But he didn't get over.
That's true.
Vince McMahon got over on God. Bobby's saying he's excited from Taryn from Accounting versus Rachel Ellering. Yes, Rachel Ellering is returning to Canada to do her thing at LPW5. And you know, as much as I love Rachel Ellering, she's got no chance against my girl Taryn from Accounting. She's awesome.
My next interview releasing on a Wrestling Gal is with Taryn from Accounting. So
I'm jealous because listen, Taryn, if you're watching, after you win on Friday, come on Thursday. We'll talk budgets. We'll talk about accounting stuff because I need to learn. Apparently, according to the boss, we spend too much money.
You're spending way too much. I'm an expensive guest, so I'll be demanding my paycheck right after we finish this show up here tonight.
Listen. Demand it while he's on screen. Don't hold back.
That's true. That's true. We got the man in the house in a couple minutes.
Big Bad Boris coming in, he'll put in a word for me. That would be awesome. I would love to talk to her, and I would love to get, like I said, financial advice from the Love Pro Wrestling champion. But yes, Spencer, hopefully your check cleared. We had to spend extra money on an intro. Speak of the devil.
Now I want to know what he's drinking. I want to know what he's drinking first of all.
Does Ella send her invoice?
On Alexander Keats.
Perfect timing. We have a question. Does Ella send her invoice to Spencer or Pluggo? No, neither. She sent it to Alice in accounting. The invoice goes to Alice, and then Alice puts it on Spencer's desk.
Oh, put it on Spencer's tab.
Pluggo, just forward the Venmo I send you tonight.
That's fair. That's fair.
Venmo's the thing, right? As a Canadian, I'm used to e-transfers. Venmo still the cool thing in the United States? Even the cool.
I use the Cash App, but you can't use Cash App. We learned this when I got hired here. You can't Cash App. When I would buy a mug or something, I couldn't send you the money via Cash App.
I mean,
to Canada.
I'll use PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Mainly Venmo and PayPal, to be honest.
Ella's got her head in the game because that's the excuse I've still been using for why I haven't paid Pluggo in about a good year. Cash App, man. Sorry.
I got Venmo. I got PayPal. I got them all.
I got all of them.
Facebook. You can pay via Facebook now.
That's true. Or if you got Apple Pay too, you can do that too.
So we were stalling because you were late, which will come out of your fee. No.
Yeah, but we've got pay me a little less.
Yeah, just pay the boss a little less. But we got Spencer Love on for his monthly visit to Between Two Beards to talk about LPW. This time we're up to five-time LPW shows. Fifth time, five-time, whatever Booker T says. Five-time AEW sucks. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
The viewpoints of Pluggo does not reflect the viewpoints of media personality Ella J. I just want to put that out there.
Covered the bases. Alex, it's nice to have Ella JPJ on this one. I really appreciate it.
It's nice that I had to get a professional to come on to curve my crazy.
You're gonna say settle you in, hey?
Yes, I couldn't. Could you imagine this show if it was just me?
Oh Lord.
Tonight, it'd be nuts. It'd be wild stuff. Anyway, we're not here to talk about me. We know enough about Pluggo. We're here to talk about LPW5 Anarchy in the Yeg. Is it the Yeg? Boris told me last week
it's the YEG. You can do either. It's I don't know if you guys do the same, but we use airport codes a lot up here to describe how cool we are. Like the YYZ is Toronto, YVR is Vancouver. I don't know. I don't even know why it's cool, to be honest with you. It's just it fit in a lot easier than Anarchy in the Edmonton.
Whoa. Hello. He always has people. Yes, Dan. I'm sorry. I'll do my best to not ruin Ella's future. She's got a bright future. Oh, I see how it is.
Pizza?
Of course, it's pizza.
You're gonna taunt me with pizza?
Oh, and we got
and Lumberjack Larry.
Whoa.
I mean,
clearly somebody hasn't gotten to manscaped.com.
Pluggo was showing his shoulder earlier, to be fair.
I'm trying to get in that baddie section, Spenny.
Oh, yeah. Everybody wants to be the bad. We're firmly pro baddie section here. I think we've made that pretty firmly established, right? Pluggo. There you go. That's baddie. Or just bad.
Anyway, it goes off the rails. Ella's regretting coming on and co-hosting with me. Spenny said, I came on to talk about my wrestling show, not you make smoldering looks into the camera. So, LPW5. This is a good one. This is a big one. Off of the heels of LPW4, which if I will say I thought they're all good, but was the best of the 4 so far. So how do you top it? How do you tomorrow night? What do you got in store?
Well, a couple different ways, my friend. I'm real excited, and I think I'm going to say that every time I hop on here to open up, because there's just such a vibe about setting up a wrestling show and being there as you're putting the ring together and watching everyone go through matches and everything in between. So, yeah, you guys always tend to catch me on one of my favorite days of the month, because today we've literally just finished setting up. A couple of people are working through some stuff in the ring right now. We're doing our AV testing, and I always sort of have the moment where it's oh, hell yeah, we get to do this all over again, right? So overall, just excited. And as far as the card itself, like you said, it's one of my favorite challenges in the world, trying to top myself. And not that that's saying anything for a guy who's run 4 or 5 shows at this point, whether you're watching today or tomorrow. But for me, it's very cool that we're 4 shows now going into 5 shows in. And hey, MRB, that's our champ, you guys. It's very cool for me that we're already looking, like you said, Pluggo, at a 5th show where you're wondering how the hell are we going to go bigger, better, badder than we did last time. It's I hate the phrase apples and oranges. It's apples and baseballs. You ain't even comparing fruits at this point. You're comparing 2 entirely different things. I think that last show is really the culmination of our first few shows. We got our grand champion crowned. We had our first individual come in from outside of Canada. We had a lot of these metrics that I'd always sort of looked at as goals. And this one's really the kickstart of not the new era, not a new roster, but it's really a bit of a changeover. We've got 9 people here that have never worked for LPW before. We've got a lot of our longtime people like Casey Spinelli, Travis Williams, Nicole Matthews. They're unfortunately unavailable because they're part of another independent promotion that is just freaking killing it in NEW out of BC. So we don't have a lot of the people that we've really looked at as staples. I think that this is going to be an equally cool show, but for a lot of different reasons than the last one was, you know?
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I was there. No, I wasn't there, but I was watching. No, cut it. We're done. No, before you hopped on, we were just talking about some of the matches we were looking forward to, and I think the one that popped up to both of us first and foremost, it was the Willow Nightingale Zoe Sager match that was supposed to be Giselle Shaw. How did you pull that off? I think because you had Giselle locked up. It was in the mix. What happened there? If you could talk on it, and then how did you get Willow, who right now is probably one of the, if not hottest independent wrestlers going in the world right now? She's over everywhere.
Man, I know it's such a cliche for wrestling fans to hear at this point, but there's no more honest answer than just it was a shitty scheduling conflict. Obviously, as Spencer Love, the last thing I'm going to do when there's a scheduling conflict is be like, hey man, just skip Impact. That's cool.
Yeah.
So there's really not much else you can do there. Obviously, man, Giselle Shaw is an incredible professional wrestler. We can't wait to have her here, but it's one of those situations that, for lack of a better way to put it, friends, it's certainly a lot of found money. Willow Nightingale not only has been an incredible human being to get to deal with, which Frick, I'm sure you guys can tell what an awesome human she is. But just getting the opportunity to have her up here, she's never worked in Alberta before. She's only ever worked, as far as I know, through Ontario and Canada. I could be wrong there, but it wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. And I'm just incredibly proud. I'm incredibly excited that not only has she chosen to make the trip up here, she chose to make the trip up here when, 2 weeks is tight turnaround time on scheduling and all of that. Like you guys said, she's one of the most in-demand people in the world, and I can't give myself any credit. I can only credit her, and I can only credit the good luck that thankfully she didn't have another show on June 24th. But all that being said, I am just as excited not for Willow to be here, but to watch her wrestle Zoe Sager, because by my money, man, like Ella, I know you can vouch too. If there's anybody out there, if there's one person that I would point to in Canada in women's wrestling above the 49th, whatever box, whatever metric you choose to use, like she's certainly one of, if not the person that I'd put up there. What an incredibly talented professional wrestler and individual who each and every match, there's something that I turn to and I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. That's new. And an incredible human being as well. I know, Pluggo, I said this to you last month, but now I'll say it to you this month. Like, every time I come on here, I'm so cliche in saying that, like, this is going to be a great match of great people involved, but I'm so damn excited for that match, particularly because of that. Willow is one of the hottest names in wrestling. The babe with the power is everything and a bag of friggin' chips. And I'd give the same flowers, the same credentials, whatever you want to put to Zoe. I'm excited as all hell for this one. And man, like, this roof looks pretty damn secure looking up here, but if there was anything that was going to blow the roof off the place, then I'd have no issue saying it'd be those two.
Right on. Ella, you got anything to add to the Boss Man card here tomorrow night? Anything? Any questions?
Well, I mean, like I said, I have my interview with Taryn from accounting coming up this next week, so I'm excited for that.
Gonna love her. You're gonna love her.
We chatted a few months ago, so it's finally coming out. She's an amazing human, and of course, your LPW champion. So, I mean, that's going to be a huge matchup as well. I mean, she's the inaugural, so.
You friggin' betcha.
She's facing Rachel Ellering, who's making her return to Canada. That is amazing.
Man, and you talk about things that are just like, well, cool as shit. I can't put it another way. Quite literally one of the first independent shows I went out to here in Alberta in 20.
Of course, it's the LPW Challenge Champion. Sorry,
Thank you, Boris.
Our bad.
But in 2015, I was lucky enough to go out and watch a Prairie Wrestling Alliance show at the Northgate Lions Center here in Edmonton. And one of the matches on that card was Giselle Shaw versus Rachel Ellering with Lance Storm as the special guest referee. Her first ever singles match, and like purely by luck, because by no means was I a major wrestling fan at this point. I got to see Rachel Ellering's first ever singles match. And it was just one of those things that, like, for no particular reason whatsoever, just stuck with me. It was something that I always thought of as one of my fondest memories in pro wrestling. Obviously, I don't need to speak to the talent of the three individuals in there. You guys can both do that, and I know I can for hours. But it's so damn cool for me that not only do we have Rachel coming here for another, like you say, marquee matchup against the LPW Challenge champion, the longest reigning, the inaugural, the coolest human being I know, Taryn from accounting, but the fact that, like, just personally, I get to have someone in here, much like we talked about Chelsea Green last month. You know, you can sing all the credentials, you can sing all the praises. For me personally, it means a little bit extra because they were so hugely fundamental to just my love of pro wrestling. So to get the opportunity for that, yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match. Yeah, I'm excited as hell for the 300 people going to be here tomorrow. But selfishly, guys, I'm excited for me for this one because, yeah, Rachel Ellering's back in Alberta. She's back for the first time since 2016, and she's back, well, not back, but she's in an LPW ring for the very first time. You know, three great things. It's like chicken pot pie.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna follow, but that's you're booking these shows, you're promoting these shows, and so yeah, you got to be a little selfish. You want to put matches on that obviously people want to see. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Boris.
Hi, Boris. We love Boris on this show. We stand for Boris. But yeah, you selfishly want to put on cards that you want to see, but you also got to make sure you're putting on cards that the people want to see. So it's a fun little balance. And speaking of good people, Michael Richard Blaze versus Mitch Clark. How are you going to keep those two from tearing each other apart
Not
and then
even gonna
ruining
try, Pluggo.
LPW?
Not even gonna try.
You
Not
got
even
to think
gonna
LPW 6, man.
Of course, you got to think of LPW 6, but you think we haven't already thought of LPW 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, 25?
They tear each other
All
apart.
of them.
They bring the violence that they say they're going to bring. What do you do?
Celebrate. I celebrate. I celebrate wholeheartedly. I enjoy a beverage with my friends after the show, and I say, heck yeah, that was a great main event from a great show. Like, what else can you say? What else can you say? We all saw how the last show ended. We all saw that Mitch Clark masterminded, for lack of a better way to put it, the attack on MRB. He's obviously been playing his cards not just from our last show, but since October. And again, you talk about matches fans want to see, talk about matches that I want to see. This is one of the best examples of both of that I can give. These guys are standard bearers of not just Alberta, not just Edmonton, not just their respective
Willow's music.
Hey, we officially got Willow Nightingale on BCP. It's just a retro music, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
No, sorry to backtrack. That was cool. This is a match that, despite these guys being standard bearers in Alberta for the last 5, 10, 15 years, never have met up. Never have been in a singles, a doubles, a triples, a friggin' battle royal, anything in between. These guys have never met in the ring before. And I know that, Pluggo, you're a great example of this as someone outside of the Albertan wrestling community. These maybe aren't people who you would have paid attention to prior to Love Pro Wrestling. And I know, talking to you, that these are two guys that have just come out impressed, torn the house down every single damn time. And, you know, you sometimes, man, wrestling's got to be the best versus the best. Watch any Super Bowl, you watch any Stanley Cup final, whatever sport, whatever kind of entertainment out there, whatever medium or side you choose with pro wrestling. At the end of the day, it's people wanting to go out there and prove they can either kick someone's ass or they're the champ and they're the best. And that's what this is going to be, man. Neither of these guys are wrong in saying they've come out and proven they're the best guys in LPW. MRB's our champ. Mitch Clark's undefeated. Unstoppable force meets the immovable object, man.
But yeah, speaking of broken records, I think I say that monthly when you come on here and talk about these. It's like, I thought I was hip to the independent wrestling scene, thought, you know, I know all my stuff. I know my people. Yada. Bobby saying hello, friends. Stay tuned after us for Major Love Wrestling as they talk about Battle Riot. That's going to rule. Alex Kane putting work. But anyway, yes, every month I say, you know, you've opened my eyes working here at Love Wrestling to an entire segment of Canadian professional wrestling that I didn't know existed, and I'm super excited about it because, like I said, Michael Richard Blaze is fantastic. Mitch Clark, who's been on the show, love his work. Taryn from Accounting, awesome. And then, you know, I run into people like Jack Pride and T.Y. Jackson. I'm excited for that too. Tell me
you and I both
how that came about. T.Y. Jackson's a little bit lesser known than Pride, but it looks like he's gonna have a good showing tomorrow night. I have a feeling he's gonna pull out the W too.
Man, I will say too, just to touch on T.Y. Jackson right off the bat, if there was anybody that we've been looking to bring in for month upon month upon month as far as LPW goes, it's been T.Y. The guy is an absolute stud. He is someone who I know, if you're looking at Albertan Pro Wrestling, is out there proverbially grinding. I hate the word, but I don't have a better way to put it. You ask the guy where he is. He's in the gym every single time. He's training every single time. He's putting in the actual work to be one of the best professional wrestlers in this province, in this country. And I'm very excited that, obviously, unfortunate circumstances with Kenneth Stryker notwithstanding, that we finally get to bring him into the ring, because hot damn, man, this guy's going to come out. He's, I believe, the second or third match on our card tomorrow night. And, he's just going to impress the hell out of people. There's really not much else you can say. I'm trying also not to give too much away so that everybody's tuning in still.
You can
tell my job.
You can tell me.
No, we'll talk off.
Tell us. Tell us. Yeah, come on. JPJ's not here.
We're not live.
I'll hop into the. Yeah. Oh, perfect.
We didn't hit record. I'm running the show. I don't know what's going on. I'll
proverbially slide in the DMs later with that one. No, T.Y.'s a stud, and I think that Jack Pride again is someone who everybody in Alberta has known as fantastic for year upon year upon year. And I'm very excited. It's finally, whether it's with us, whether it's getting a match against Jordan Oliver on Saturday night in Red Deer, Alberta. He's a guy that I think is really starting to get out there as far as, again, to speak in cliches with it, like an international reputation goes, right? That's one of the biggest struggles that I know Canadian wrestling has is how do you broach the barrier? How do you get out to the United States and Australia and the United Kingdom? And I think that these guys have done a really great job, frankly, in the nicest way to us, not through anything that we've done outside of putting great matches up. They're the ones out there delivering great matches. So the fact that they've been able to do what they do, whether it's for us or elsewhere, I'm very excited for this one because they ain't never met in an LPW ring. And frankly, to quote the great Daft Punk, we go harder, better, faster, stronger, man.
We had HW, Dale say at HW Sports, yeah, that was my first independent show I ever went to like 4 years ago. Fact.
Cool.
That's right. I didn't know independent wrestling existed until like 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, and then we got Bobby saying TY is awesome. Same with Black Pride. Was very happy to see them both have the. I'm sorry, I can't read. Have them wear a couple. Like, Bobby saying Zoe Sager is talented. That's what I do. I can't figure out how to. I don't. That's why JPJ is here. Ella, you got any questions for? I've been talking Spencer's ear off because I get fired up for these LPW shows, man. I really do. I'm not even just shooting smoke up his ass because he's my boss.
You almost put $1 in the swear jar there.
I did.
To be fair, I swore earlier, so
yeah,
that's fine. Ella, you're a guest host and one we're happy to have here.
Okay.
Just add it to the invoice so I can yell at Pluggo later. We're okay.
Put it on Pluggo's tab, though. Yeah.
You know how this works. Come
God,
on.
He's got a show tomorrow. I'd be in that office. Oh man. Anyway.
Yes, we do have they have a swear jar. Yeah, I don't contribute towards it.
We had to implement one because some show Thursday nights at 8:00 just can't seem to get right.
Not going to say who.
He didn't put it in the memo.
I'm really curious though too because I don't have much experience, any experience really, like being a booker or like a promoter. So how do you like separate yourself from wanting to fulfill like your dream matches or fantasy matches from compared to what you can actually reasonably pull off? Like I'm very curious about that.
Well, I could give you the real answer, or I could give you the what sounds cool on a stream answer. Real answer is money. I'd love to book John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston tomorrow.
Yeah. Fair.
No, but to be honest with you, like it is tough because to be honest, we've got 25 people that I would say consistently are here wrestling for us that we would consider part of our roster. And there's so many more wrestlers, whether you're looking at Canada, the States, anywhere in between that we'd love to bring in. It's hard. I think that the easiest thing on my end of things, or the thing that's made it easier for me, is having a great group of people around me. You know, if I was to have done every single thing that I wanted because I thought X, Y, and Z would work story-wise or would be a great match, would potentially fit in for LPW, having a great group of people around me, honestly, reining me in isn't the right phrase for it, but giving some direction certainly is, because like it's very easy to book 15 different dream matches and throw them all in a ring, but do they make sense for a show? Is there a story behind them? Because I know that three of us have talked about it, whether individually or as a group or whatever. You can put on a great match, but you need to give people a reason to care. And I think that the thing that I'm most proud of, and I think I speak for our ownership group here, is that like every single match that comes on in an LPW ring, whether it's people debuting, whether it's Mitch and MRB, or whether it's a first time ever matchup between Zoe and Willow or TFA and Rachel, every single one of those matches has a reason to happen, gives you a reason to care. Not that you couldn't do that with other people. I just think that specifically with the individuals we've got here, we've not just got great wrestlers, we've not just got great people, but we've got a lot of great storytellers. And admittedly, that's helped made the process a lot easier, because if I just wanted to put on and we just wanted to put on banger after banger after banger, well, we do. Just got to give them a reason, and I think we do that too.
I think you do mix that very well.
But money too. Oh, money.
But yeah,
too.
you could theoretically, you could book all the top talent, and like you said, banger after banger after banger. But eventually, the money might run out, and then you're left with nothing.
Pluggo, I think you're part of the reason why Spencer doesn't have that money.
Listen,
we had Moxley versus Kingston locked, Pluggo, and then you invoiced me.
Let's bring it back. So here's how I look at it. I spent that money out of love. I did that for Love Pro Wrestling because you, my friend, have done an amazing job of bringing in the right name to like catch the eye, but you're building a beautiful foundation with like up and coming talent that maybe not everybody knows about that is there every show and is putting in that work and getting that following, getting that name. So had I just not blown the budget with JPJ, you'd be like Mox and Kingston every week, and then we'd be talking LPW5.
No, it's cool, and you know, to go back to your point there, Pluggo, one of the coolest things for me, because like I'm an avid social media geek, by lack of a better way to put it. It was very cool for me coming across yesterday on Reddit. Somebody had posted our event up there, so of course let's scroll through. The coolest thing for me is somebody had commented on there and says, "Yeah, I'm so excited to see Willow." It says, "But I've been to every show at the Rec Room, and I love Lumberjack Larry Woods. I love Son of Irish." And again, these are people who just deserve all the recognition in the world and maybe haven't received it yet, you know, is the best way I can put it. It means the world to me to see stuff like that, because like you say, it means that we are sort of finding that tough mix of bringing people in and hot shotting. Oh my goodness, we can bring this, and this, or we can trust the process, for lack of a better way to put it. And seeing the results that those guys are delivering is just chef's kiss, man.
Wonderful stuff. So I don't want to keep you too long, because I know I saw some people moving some stuff in the back, and you probably got to pay your dues. And
longer I'm on here, the less I got to move. Pluggo.
He's got to close out his drink tab.
He's got to close out his drink tab. But tell the fine folks where they can find LPW5, all the ins and outs, and you're the best in the business at it. So I'm just gonna let you do it. Let you have it. Oh, he's going to take a drink first. Oh.
Friday, June 24th in Edmonton, Alberta. There's one place to be. That ain't Garth Brooks. That ain't anywhere but the Rec Room South Common, specifically the hall at the Rec Room South Common. LPW5 Anarchy in the YEG. Doors at 6 p.m. and bell time at 7 o'clock p.m. sharp. We ain't missed that yet, and we ain't going to miss it again. Hopefully you ain't missing out as we kick tomorrow's show off with the in-ring return of Bobby Sharp taking on the Thickness Reed Matthews. And you stick around for the whole kit and caboodle. We are so damn excited to not only, like you mentioned, Pluggo, like you mentioned, Ella, to be bringing great names like Willow, like bringing great names like Rachel Ellering up here, but featuring the first time ever match between Mitch Clark and Michael Richard Blaze. We got Zoe Sager here. We got the Rads making their debut as a tag team. We've got Sheik Akbar Shabazz teaming with Bayrak Gorani against Mars the Specialist and Kid Chocolate Mojabari. We've got so many great individuals doing so many great things in the premier venue in Edmonton, Alberta. And hot damn, friends, I hope that you guys are here. We've got tickets on sale until 5 p.m. tomorrow. If you head to the Eventbrite link that I will tweet out as soon as I hop off of this show, you can get your tickets until then. Tickets at the door are a little bit of a bump up, but no less worth it. I hope you guys check us out, because let me tell you, I friggin' love pro wrestling more than some people love their families. And I want to inspire each and every individual out there watching, tuning in, turning on, dropping out, wherever they may be, to come and love it as much as I do right here in the heart of YEG.
Damn. Pros.
He was prepared.
So yeah, we're gonna get Spenny out of here. We didn't even get to talk about Bobby Sharp and Mojabari, who I love, but on the content side here, the Twitter sphere, the Facebook side, all that fun stuff, it's gonna be on Twitch. So I don't know why I said Facebook. I don't know why I said Twitter. It's gonna be on Twitch. Love Wrestling Twitch. If you're a subscriber, so you should hit that subscribe button right now while Spenny's on, so you can be in the chat. I'm gonna be in the chat. I know Alex is gonna be there. Awesome Love Wrestling personalities will be there. Chat it up. It's free for everyone on Twitch. Right here on Twitch, but if you're a subscriber, you can chat with the likes of me.
Hey, and make sure we shout out the handsome individual commenting there. You're going to be treated to the audible chocolate of Big Bad Boris and Thaddeus Archer III. Again, great human beings doing great things like that handsome man right there. Say hi to the internet, Bayrat. Oh, sorry, camera's over there.
Oh, he's giving me whiplash. Oh, boy.
Keep your shirt on, Larry.
Take it off, Larry. Get in that baddie section. Oh, right.
But of course, Boris is bang on. Of course, you guys were bang on. Make sure you tune in, because if you're not in Edmonton, We're very proud of the product that we're bringing out of the heart of YEG. If you've got the opportunity to tune in tomorrow, Big Bad Boris is the best in the biz. There's a lot of B's in one sentence, but that guy's bringing his A game each and every month right here to Edmonton, Alberta. So make sure you tune in. You're not just supporting me. You're not just supporting the people in the ring. You're supporting two fine individuals you see above me on the screen, the individuals you see in the chat. Man, we're so damn proud of the community we built, and it means a lot.
We got to get Big Bad Boris here on Between Two Beards.
He was on last week.
BBB.
Oh, the whole time. It was awesome. Big Bad Boris has an open invitation to show up here whenever he wants.
Hello, guys.
Spencer, we love you. We're excited. I know you're excited. We can't wait for tomorrow. Thank you, as always, for stopping in, chatting with us, drinking a beer.
Dara.
And then Dara Amazing's in the house. What's good? Are we getting LPW spoilers for the right price? Dara Amazing.
I gave it earlier. I don't know if you were tuned in about Dara Amazing. We will be opening tomorrow's show with Bobby Sharp versus the Thickness Reed Matthews. That guy's been waiting just over a year after a hip replacement surgery to get back inside the ring. We ain't making him wait any longer. So whether you consider that a spoiler or not, whether you consider it good advertising, it's a glass half full, half empty.
You're just gonna have to tune in.
There's your little bit.
You're just gonna have to tune in tomorrow night and see what they've got.
Love you guys.
Much appreciated, Spencer.
See you guys.
Peace. But yes, LPW5 tomorrow night, Anarchy in the Egg on Twitch live. Make sure you tune in. Make it happen. We got about 20 minutes or so left in the show. Ella's got to get out early. We're going to leave about 9:30, which is fine. That's cool. You know what? We do what we want. JPJ's not here. We don't have to listen to his time constraints. So for about
it's
the next
Ella JPJ's show now.
That's right. Ella JPJ, you gone, JPJ. Get wrecked. No, we miss him. But I know that we wanted to talk a little Forbidden Door. We aren't super familiar, as we talked off stage, with the New Japan side of things. We know the big hitters and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to go match by match and try to break it down, because this is ultimately more of an exhibition than anything. It's not really going to, I don't think it's going to carry into in future weeks, and it's kind of been snake bitten. So how are you feeling about the upcoming Forbidden Door?
I'm really excited because it brings in a lot of elements like I am not necessarily familiar with. Of course, I've heard of the names and all of that stuff, but I'm watching a lot of the New Japan guys for the first time, honestly. Yes. So yeah, I heard Ishii was out. And they just named a replacement today, I believe.
Clark Connors, and he's no slouch. He's really good.
I'm really excited for that All-Atlantic Championship Fatal 4-Way. I think that's low-key going to be the dark horse match of the night, honestly.
That's where I was at last night when they announced it and they had it all set. I was like, oh shit, like this is going to rule. Ishii being out definitely hurts. I do know a little. Yeah, it's the Pluggo and LJ show. We can rebrand between. She's gonna get a beard. You just put a beard on, so we don't have to rebrand. We'll save a little money for Spencer. Okay. But yeah, I know that the going into last night, the thing was it's kind of a downer. There's not the punks of the Daniel Bryan who announced yesterday he's got a concussion. He's out. He'll be fine, but he needs to sit out, which is great. I don't want him to rush back. So Zack Sabre Jr. didn't have an opponent. And that was a big get. And I think it's going to be Brie Bella, as I've tweeted.
Is Brie Bella the best technical wrestler you've ever heard? Because that's what Bryan Danielson promised us.
Hear me out. He also said it's someone he knows better than it and he trusts. And who better do you trust and you know than your wife? And if he goes home tonight or last night and she goes, what? You know somebody better? Oh, you know Johnny Gargano better than me? Are you saying Johnny Gargano is a better wrestler than me? That's going to cause problems.
He better have Johnny Gargano. It could be Claudio. It could be Jonathan Gresham. Those are definitely the big three names I saw yesterday when we were all speculating on the timeline. It could be Brie Bella. I mean, Brie Bella is the Forbidden Door if she shows up in AEW.
As Boris said, MRB does a great Brie mode dance. Until I see it, I don't believe it. If you send it to me, we'll run it on this show. Fun fact, I posted the Brie Bella thing today, and some guy goes, you realize that she signed to WWE and they would never let that happen. And I was like, really, dude? Like
AJ Styles was on Slammiversary.
Yeah. if you want to open the real forbidden door. So yeah, that was a bit of a downer. To find out that Danielson is not there, but ultimately I want him to be healthy. I don't want him to injure himself further. We just got him back and he's hitting his stride, so let him take a few weeks off. And I know Punk and Tanahashi was the big draw. Now we've got Mox and Tanahashi, which I think is going to rule. How are you feeling about that?
The ending yesterday was just so funny because you just have Moxley and Tanahashi intently staring at each other in the ring and like not and just like looking around while trying probably not to break their kayfabe poker faces as to just this absolute carnage around the ring. Like it was just an all out brawl between literally I feel like the whole locker room at the end of the show. And I think I would have broke character and probably just laughed at
Are we gonna do that at the end of the show?
Yeah, they had to stare at each other for a good 5 minutes. But
it's very WCW-esque, that ending. I was like, are they going to hit each other? What's going on here? Are they going to hug? Like, they coexisted, which was nice. The four-way for the IWGP title. We got Okada. I didn't think we were getting Okada. They tapered our expectations throughout this whole thing. Do you feel that maybe this injury bug, it was like, all right, we got to give him Okada. We have to ramp this up a little bit because we don't have Danielson. We don't have Punk. We don't have Ishii.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's not just Okada, it's Jay White, Adam Cole, and Adam Page.
Right.
I'm really excited for this one. Again, even me not being like very familiar with New Japan, everyone knows Okada. I've seen Okada wrestle a few times. And then Jay White coming in here. I mean, I'm super excited for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in this Fatal 4-Way. I think I would main event the show, I would definitely think, and rightfully so.
And we got Dan J saying, if you look at pics from ringside, at times they're Mox getting distracted by the chaos. Tanahashi has some. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're like right now, if you and I, Ella, are on screen and we're supposed to be just talking to each other, and a bunch of just pure chaos happens right here, it's going to be hard for me to not. I think, no joke, the last time you were on the show, my basement flooded mid-show. Where I'm sitting. Yeah. So I'm sitting there. If you catch the show, I'm like, what the? But I didn't want, because I was like, shit, it's Ella J. I don't want to be like, hey, guys, I got to run. She's awesome. And be like unprofessional, which now she knows Pluggo is just completely unprofessional all the time. But yeah, I was like, fuck. She's like, so anyway, yeah. How do you not break character? And Hiromu will steal the night. Hiromu is going to be there as well. They went hard. They got Sting. They got Darby. Hiromu Bullet Club is reforming.
I'm also really excited for like the winner takes all tag team title match.
Yes.
I love Jeff Cobb like a lot. And I mean, FTR has been absolutely killing it too as well. So I mean, we got FTR versus Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan versus Pungi Vice for the ROH and IWGP tag titles, and that's a winner takes all match,
which is interesting. Yeah,
that I also think could possibly be dark horse match of the night. There's a lot of great matches on this card.
Yeah, that's what happened last night. Big Bad Board say at some point it was a show that admittedly I'm like, man, I don't really know all the ins and outs of all these. As I'm not going to ever pretend to, like, I'm not going to sit here and fake it and be like, I know,
No, I definitely don't know everybody, but I mean, I've seen Jeff Cobb wrestle in Ring of Honor because they've come to where I am for a Ring of Honor show, and that's where I first saw him. And so I'm like, I know some people on this.
Oh, and I love Jeff Cobb too. I actually think it was a huge miss that they had him on Dynamite a few years ago, and they made him a big deal, and they didn't sign him. I don't know what happened there. But I thought he would have been perfect for this AEW roster at the time that he was.
He's fantastic. Tony Storm, of course, versus Thunder Rosa too as well. I'm excited to see how they go about this because you have two like allies, baby faces going against each other. Does Thunder turn heel? I don't know. Or is this gonna be like I mean, it's possible they could have like a sportsman-like match between these two. That's gonna be super exciting too. This is Tony's first championship opportunity in AEW since arriving earlier this year. So I'm glad that she's finally getting this match.
I thought she should have won the Owen, but that was just me.
Same.
How do you feel? So I know leading up to this, there was no women's matches on the card up until last week. and there was a lot of chatter about, I don't know a ton about Stardom. I know a little bit about it. How they didn't kind of get Stardom involved or some other, Forbidden Door type deal. They just put this match on, which is going to be a great match.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about that as somebody that's deep into women's wrestling? Like, did you want to see some Stardom crossover or some kind of appeal from maybe Impact in the Forbidden Door?
Yeah, I do think too, up in a couple months, I think Stardom and New Japan are actually collaborating on a show for the first time. Obviously, we've seen some Stardom on the Wrestle Kingdom. We've seen some Stardom elements on there, but I think they're actually having a proper crossover. I believe it was reported a few weeks ago, actually. I know Utami is definitely one of the, and Momo is also huge in there. I mean, Julia is doing absolutely incredible too in Stardom from what I've seen. I mean, there's so many women that they could have gotten in Stardom, but again, maybe the relationship just wasn't there, or maybe it wasn't the right time. I do wish we got somebody from Stardom. I mean, you had Kyrie. I mean, didn't Kyrie get injured though? Unfortunately, I think
I know
she did get injured.
I know she just started wrestling again.
Yeah, she got injured. So maybe Kyrie was an option before she got injured. I think that would have been really cool. Yeah, NJPW owns Stardom. So, yeah, so I don't know why they didn't bring in. I don't know why they didn't bring in anybody. I don't know, to be honest.
It was kind of an interesting thing. I think I missed Lawrence's comment here. The show could really benefit from better build next year. Like, it takes more time introducing New Japan talents. Yes, they did have a weird way of introducing some of them. And I think, like I said earlier, with the kind of snake bit, and they've had all these injuries, and there wasn't the Okada factor early on, and there was all this stuff up there. I mean, Adam Cole, up until he must be cleared because he's competing in the 4-way, but there was rumor of him being injured, so you couldn't really sink your teeth into anything. Plus, they had Double or Nothing last month, so they were trying. It's just it was kind of a weird. But hey, hopefully they keep doing it and it gets better. Dan J saying Kyrie teased having a partner for Stardom show, and people think it's going to be Toni Storm. Toni Storm did just recently say on Toxic Jericho she wants to go back over there
to Japan. Yeah.
Yep.
I listened to that as well.
Stardom's getting more popular in North America every day. They have clips all over the Reddit. Yeah. I need to get more into this stuff.
I mean, you could have had Shuri, you could have had Utami, you could have had Momo. I mean, you could have I feel like there's so many people that they could have had.
Yeah, Britt Baker's not on this card, which is a huge draw. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. So again, like I said, we're not going to deep dive into every single match. In the comments, feel free to tell us which match you're looking forward to, and we'll touch on it, because I admittedly don't know enough of New Japan to give you like some intense breakdown on what it means and who it is. But I am excited for the card, because like I said with Love Pro Wrestling, these kind of cards give me opportunities to go, okay, who's that guy? I want to go check him out. I'm going to go look up some matches, and I get more familiar, and that's how you grow the sport. Is that what you do?
What was that? I'm so sorry. I was reading the comments. Maki Ito's making her GCW debut in August. That's gonna be amazing.
Of all the things GCW does, that headbutt is the most dangerous thing on that show now. Like, watch out. Glass tables, whatever. Oh yeah, Lawrence is correct. Stardom is having a show that weekend too, but not everybody's going to be on that show.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one women's match on the card. They could have bringing one of them over. I mean,
it's the AEW's. They got one women's match, and it has nothing to do with the Forbidden Door. It's something else, which is going to be a great match. One of the top matches I'm looking forward to, because I love Thunder Rosa and I love Toni Storm as performers. I think they're fantastic. I think they're going to kill it. But I think ultimately there was a missed opportunity there.
I definitely agree too. Again, I still don't know if Kyrie's still injured or not, or like what the extent of it is, but I think she would have been a great addition to this.
Where's Dan J? He's like our encyclopedia in the chat. Right. He knows. He'll find it for us. He always comes through in the clutch, but I'm like, back in 1979 when so-and-so wrestled, he's like, yep, I remember the finish. Dan J rules. So yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. We're going to keep talking Forbidden Door if you guys want to. But I think we missed something.
Oh yeah,
we were stalling her. So I'm going to pull it behind the curtain for the few minutes here. Ella is a immense professional. She's like, I need a rundown of what you want to talk about tonight. And I was like, we just wing it.
What's the extent of Kyrie's injury, Dan?
But wait, sorry, what was the question? He's gonna find out. But yes, so we decided she was like, what about Brock and Roman? And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That happened this week too.
I mean, to be fair, it happened like a week ago, to be fair, but there's been so much happening. But yeah, Brock Lesnar is challenging Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So there's no match at Money in the Bank for them. It's just going right to SummerSlam.
Ecto Guy, our producer, says that it's an eardrum rupture for Kyrie.
Oh.
So that would be rough to wrestle with. But yeah, so everything that's gone on, the wrestling world has been crazy. You said for the past 2 months, for the entire year, since day one, it's been nuts. But with everything going on with Vince and all this yada, 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 and the CEO stuff, you kind of just go, oh yeah, Brock Lesnar's back. Because Roman comes out and he says, I've beat everybody. There's no one left. I've done it all. And then it happens. And he's back. And we're going to run it back. And we're going to skip over Money in the Bank and not have a match for the title. Roman has not defended that title outside of Riddle since he won it. What do you feel? How do you feel about Brock Lesnar being back? How do you feel about running it back again?
This is clearly their plan C. Since Cody Rhodes is injured and Randy Orton is injured, maybe plan D. I don't really know. But it was very highly speculated that like Randy Orton was going to be facing Roman Reigns in SummerSlam, and then Cody Rhodes has been pushed. So I think that was also a possible plan. So this is obviously plan C. And I mean, I know people are upset that they're running it back again for like the 15th time, but also, to be fair though, we are like still like over a month away. Maybe they could build somebody, but there really is nobody, I would say, outside of even outside of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has lost his last 3, 4, I don't know how many pay-per-view matches in a row.
3 to Cody, and then I think he lost the blow.
I want to see a new match for Roman Reigns too, but also logically right now with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton out, there really is nobody logically that you as a viewer, I think, could believe could beat Roman. We've already seen Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's going for the United States Championship now. Yes. Drew McIntyre has already... I mean, he's in Money in the Bank. Maybe I'm hoping for cash-in, to be honest, here at SummerSlam. But there's really nobody. Maybe it's a Drew McIntyre, but there's really nobody plausible right now to beat Roman Reigns that I think is believable to actually beat him, which Cody Rhodes would have been, I think, the believable one, or maybe a Randy Orton too. Seth Rollins has lost his last, I don't know how many pay-per-view matches. Drew and Sheamus are in Money in the Bank. Bobby's going for the United States Championship. So to me, there's nobody really left.
They just had him loose to Riddle loose to Roman. Yeah. But then, which should have catapulted him in a way because it was such a good match. And then he loses to Omos on Monday.
So there's literally nobody believable, maybe besides a Brock getting a rematch, which I mean, it makes sense. He never got his rematch for the championship. So, I mean, I know people say it. Corbin's also lost. I mean, I am not a big fan of Corbin, but Corbin has lost the last 3 times
to
Madcap Moss. And so to me, there's literally nobody left.
So we got Dan J saying call it Braun. I think unfortunately, like they should have already done that when he was at his hottest peak.
AJ Styles, I would have been here for it. Have they? I'm sure they've wrestled before at like a Survivor Series or something.
I would imagine that they have.
But AJ lost. What is AJ doing right now? Did he just
videos
qualify?
For Slammiversary?
Well, yeah.
I don't know if he qualified. I can't remember. Somebody let me know.
Let me know, because I missed Raw this past week. But there's honestly nobody. Judgment Day feud. That is right. Now. Yeah.
Judgment Day feud. Yes.
There's honestly nobody right now plausible that is believable to beat Roman Reigns. So I understand why they felt they had to call on their plan C or D, being Brock Lesnar, who technically is in line for a rematch. Whether he wins that or not, I don't know. I think they're going to have to stall until Cody's going to be out till next year. Randy's going to be out the rest of this year.
Right.
Which means we're going to get a Roman Reigns reign till at least the beginning of next year. Cena, listen, if John Cena comes in, I'm here for it. But I'm honestly realistically hoping for a cash-in at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's how you would have to do this if you want to get out of this thing. Is you got to cash it in.
I am praying for a cash in.
Which I know we just talked about Snake Pit and Forbidden Door, but Money in the Bank, just Rhea Ripley is mysteriously out.
Yeah, apparently she has a concussion or some brain thing going on. Yeah. I'm still sad about that.
I am too, because I feel like with Judgment Day, she was starting to hit her stride. I think they killed that early. I think they should have kept it going. But when you don't listen to an 11-time world champion that Edge is, and he wants to not do something, and you say we're doing it anyway, you're out.
But also with Cody being out, that turn was kind of necessary because you need another top babyface to fill Cody's place, that being Edge, which I get.
Maybe we get Cody coming back at Money in the Bank. Maybe he just miraculously
Cody going down was really ill-timed, and I think sent them into emergency mode, which is why we saw the Judgment Day turn, and also which is why we saw Brock Lesnar now returning, also due to Randy Orton being out. It's just been an emergency mode pretty much.
Yeah. Well, and they booked themselves into the corner kind of when they unified all these titles, and then they expected it to be Roman, and then it just didn't happen, and things happen and people get injured, and then you're like, oh shoot, and Roman wants a lesser schedule, and it's just this ball of wax, and you haven't built any stars.
And we've already seen Edge lose to Roman. So to be fair, we've also seen Brock lose to Roman.
They've done it like 9 times in the last 2 years.
I honestly truly believe that it's going to be the Money in the Bank winner that's going to be the one to dethrone Roman, whenever that be.
You cash it in, let him get some time off. He comes back for the Mania push, because I think he probably wants some time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Do they cash in? Do they get both titles? Or are they going to we're not going to split them back up again?
That's a good point. I don't know. Would it be for both titles? I don't know.
All right. So we're running. We don't have a ton of time left. So I know that Carmella is going to face Bianca Belair, which I think is awesome. Carmella's fantastic. I think she's super underrated. She's taken Rhea's spot. So who do you think? Do you think you see a women's cash in that night too? Who do you think wins the women's Money in the Bank?
I don't think we've seen like the women's cash in like the day of or the day after, like literally the last 3 years. No. With being Alexa, would it be 3 years or 4 years? Yeah. Alexa cashed in the same night.
Yep.
Bailey cashed in the same night.
Yep.
Asuka was obviously the next day with the women's championship with Becky giving it up, and then Nikki ASH was the day after. So I mean, the last time we had an extensive Money in the Bank run was Carmella, and I mean, I want it to be Liv. I really do. I think Liv should have won last year, though. I could see them putting it on Lacey, though, with her just being back and then wanting to push her. Yeah. I could see them wanting to push Lacey, although I would love for it to. I can see the case for Liv Morgan too. I don't know. I got my hopes up last year with Liv Morgan, and I don't want that to happen again.
That is fair. That is fair. I want him to hold it for a little while longer. We had Lawrence saying Kevin Owens is, when he's done with the Elias story, he could easily put him into the spot. He just had a main event with Austin. Kevin Owens is fantastic. Dan's got Liv winning the Money in the Bank. I'd like to see that too, an extended push. But we talked so much about all this other stuff. Is there anything else you want to touch on Money in the Bank wise before we get you out of here? Because I know I got to get you out of here. We're getting up against that.
I'm just ready for a new world champion. I've been ready for a new world champion for the last 2 years. It's literally going to be 2 years in August.
Yeah, and
I'm just over it. This is just my opinion personally, but I'm just over it. I am praying that whoever wins this men's Money in the Bank cashes in at SummerSlam and starts a new reign.
It's going to be Gage.
It's going to be Goldberg. Oh my God. Imagine.
I'm with you. Like, it's not that it's a terrible storyline. It was really well done. They did a good job with it, but it is becoming very redundant. And the way they've booked it, there's not anything else that matters on those shows. And
no.
That's the problem.
And Brock is clearly their plan. I mean, to be fair, you can't predict injuries. Cody and Randy going down, I think, hurt a lot of the momentum. In Danya, I did see the theory, pun intended, about Cena going to face Theory at SummerSlam. If Cena's preoccupied at SummerSlam, then I don't think he'll be facing Roman.
Which I think is their way of, they're going to have Cena give Theory the stamp of approval and then be like, here's your next guy. And maybe he ends up in the main event scene. Who knows?
I don't know.
But Ella, you said 9:30. It's 9:30 in the dot. I'm trying to not
You're good.
For too long. I'm keeping you here because I love having you on. I appreciate you coming in, filling in for JPJ on vacation. Before I have you plug your stuff, we got to plug one thing. Next week,
I saw
Quizplex with Zoe Sager and Kid Badditt and a mystery guest. Could be me, could be Ella. You never know. Stay tuned. Zach, every last Thursday of the month, puts on these awesome shows. This one, we are raising money for the Trevor Project. So anything that is donated, whether it be bits, whether it be subs, we are going to match that, put that into the pot, donate it to a great cause for the LGBTQ community. We are going to come up with something fun to do that night as well on Beards. We will be on from 8 to 9. Boris said he got robbed on Quizplex. Boris, I didn't even get invited to Quizplex because they fear me because I'm so smart.
I'm waiting to be invited back to Quizplex. It'll be a year next month.
I told Spencer that once. I said, I never got the Quizplex invite. He goes, I put you on the damn website. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. You're right. You're right. You know, who will be joining the Hollowed Halls of Quizplex Champions. Right now, there's only 2, and I'm going to lean Zoe Sager because we're big fans of Zoe Sager on this show. So I'm going to lean her early on, but I don't know who that third is. Then I challenge Pluggo.
We got to get Boris versus Pluggo versus me on Quizplex. Zach,
next Thursday night, 8 o'clock. JPJ's back. Ella, me, and Boris. JPJ will be the Zach, and we will do Beardplex. Where we just put up pictures of facial hair wrestlers and try to guess who it is.
You know, I'm not opposed to that.
So, hey, we'll talk off air. But I think we just came up with Beardplex to send to Alex. Yes. Well, Ella, I appreciate you coming on, being the voice of professionalism, keeping me semi-reined in because I know how hard it is for JPJ on a weekly basis. That's why he needs these vacations. Tell the people where they can find you, what you've got going on, and just the floor is yours.
Well, firstly, I'm glad that your basement wasn't flooding this time.
Me too. Me too, and Mrs. Pluggo.
That's a step up right there. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me again. Of course, this is now the Ella JPJ show with Pluggo, of course. I'm looking forward to Beardplex.
Switch us over, Alex. She's going to run the show now.
Exactly. Yep. I have my interview with Taryn from accounting coming up within the next week on a wrestling gal. That's going to be super exciting. I'm doing a bunch of streams next week for Money in the Bank. And of course, we have Powerrrout here on Tuesday night, every Tuesday with our good friend, Zach. And you can follow me on Twitter at it's Ella J, like it says right here.
Perfect. This actually feels right. This feels right. So
I kind of like being on the right, though, to be honest. More like that's my good side.
All right. Whatever the co-host.
I like being on the right side, to be honest.
And for me, I am Pluggo _Pluggo_, as you see right there on Twitter, Facebook, all of them, all the socials. That's Pluggo. You'll find my face. You can find the show page at B2 Beards on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. We don't have Instagram. I need to just bite the bullet and get the Instagram going for us. Stay tuned to our socials. You never know what we got going on. Follow JPJ at Joseph_Poulin. He's on vacation. Tweet him right now if you're listening and go, are you really on vacation? Are you just sitting on your couch because your Celtics lost? Missing. There he is. I've kept Ella 4 minutes past her scheduled time, which means I've got to put that
overtime on my tab.
Yeah, that's time and a half. Alice, be ready. But honestly, guys, and I say it one more time, Ella, I appreciate you coming on. It's always a good time. We love having you. The door's always open for you. And to everybody that tuned in tonight, from Spencer Love all the way down, you guys are what makes the show possible. So until next week, we're out. Peace.